Hey, welcome friends and family. So excited to be here with you today, coming to you from our Cookeville Elevate Real Estate Studio. And I just want to remind everyone that Elevate is a faith-led coaching and mentorship program, and with an emphasis on leadership. See, we're on a mission. We're on a mission to train, equip, and develop leaders. We want to care well for leaders because we know leaders ultimately are those that change communities, change families, change nations. And so we're on a mission to train leaders here at Elevate. And I just want to say, I believe the Lord is blessing us to do a very good job of that, because right now I'm thinking about some ways that we have been able to accomplish that. See, we have three men that I want to talk to you about today. All three of these men have been with us within the sales team and within that environment right at or less than 90 days. You know, my good friend, Dwayne Robinson, he has come in and in less than 90 days has already put well over 10 properties under contract. Guys, I don't know that we've ever seen that before. 10 properties going under contract in less than 90 days. And that's just one. We've got another great team member, Connor Gray. Connor Gray, again, has been with us less than 90 days, got his real estate license less than 90 days ago, just like Dwayne, less than 90 days ago, got his real estate license. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. He's already got 16 5-star reviews. Now that's huge. That is huge that Connor has went out there. He started connecting immediately with his COI, Center of Influence. He's calling them, talking to them, and they're already just so impressed that they're giving those 5-star reviews. And you know, that's a real blessing to all of our community that you're going out there and doing that. So Dwayne, Connor, thank you both very much. And definitely last today I'm going to speak about, but not least, is Mr. Nathan Green, Nate with Elevate. What a super guy. He came to us, I believe he started February 2nd, got his real estate license, came in as an ISA, in-house sales agent, basically calling back folks that have called in before and just kind of touching base with them, seeing if we could help them with buying or selling property. And Nathan had, we had a little bit of turnover with one of our lenders. He was a super nice guy. He came and he talked to me. He said, Elijah, just between me and you have so much business coming through your Elevate community right now. You really need a lender to manage the opportunities coming through. Nobody can really manage this well and not be doing just yours full time. Well, that was a real blessing. I really appreciated that he was kind enough to tell us that. And that he also knew that if he couldn't do a 5-star job, that it wasn't going to be a good fit. So he graciously let us know. And then we made a few phone calls and we found out that we have the opportunity to start our own mortgage company right here within our Elevate community. And when we got that opportunity, my wife, Lindsay, said, have you considered Nathan? So I called Nathan. I said, Nathan, here's what's going on. And Nathan says, Elijah, think about how much more value that would add to your whole community if you had somebody. Well, Nathan, would you be willing? And he was. He was willing to take a big step, go get his loan officers. And again, in approximately 90 days, not only did he get his real estate license, he got his loan officer's license. So guys, obviously, when we say Elevate is a faith-led coaching and mentorship program with an emphasis on building leaders, when all three of these guys are coming in under 90 days, setting records, doing things that we've never seen before, guys, what we do here is we just keep setting the bar higher and higher, and we just keep getting surprised by these great team members and this great Elevate community that God keeps sending us. So I want to focus on today what makes a great team member, what makes a great community player. Right here, I think not only in the Elevate real estate business, but whether you're in a roofing business or you're in an insurance business or if you're in a nursing business or a factory, what makes an ideal team player? We read a book a while back written by Patrick Lencioni. This was a real game changer. I've had a few things that really pivoted the way I began to think and see things. This book helped me so much. The ideal team player said, what you're really looking for is people that are humble, hungry, and smart. And by smart meaning people smart. So when I look at Mr. Dwayne Robinson, when I look at Connor Gray, and when I look at Nathan Green, all three of these guys did come from a sales background. They were all three in, either running their own companies or involved in a sales background. So, but when I look at all three of these guys, all three of them have that. They are, we try to look at, and we don't want to judge people or, belittle people. But one of the ways that we evaluate, are you going to be a good fit for this community, is on those three things. Are you humble? Are you hungry? And are you people smart? Are you good with people? Because if you can do those three things, then you're probably going to be an ideal team player. Hey, real estate attracts a lot of lone wolves, because sometimes people think to be top dog, you got to step on everybody else to get to the top. At Elevate, that's a no-no. We're not that way. We really want to believe that we don't compete, but we complete. We really want to believe that if we can set an environment where when one wins, we all win. And so I want to focus in on this one word today. We could talk about hungry another day. We can talk about people smarts, but humble, right? Because I believe all three of these gentlemen both show great humbleness. And I just want to say this, when you look at the Word of God, God tells us, this is what God says, folks. God resists the proud. Okay, like when you're playing football, you know what a juke is? It's like, get off. God resists the proud, but He gives grace to the humble. So how do you go out there and pin 10 in under 90 days, never having your real estate license before? How do you go out there and get 16 5-star reviews in under 90 days, never having your real estate license before? How do you go in there and get not only your real estate license, but your loan officer's license in approximately 90 days, never having either before? How do you do that, folks? Well, I think it takes a certain level of humbleness, right? And when you look up the definition of humbleness, and I'm going to just read this to you because I don't want to misquote here. But humble describes a person who is modest, not arrogant, and does not view themselves as more important than others. It signifies a lack of excessive pride, often characterized by quiet confidence and a respectful, unpretentious demeanor. All three of these men have that. And so, what do I think, if you ask me, what does it take to be great? Not good, not average, not mediocre, because people don't pay for mediocre. Well, maybe they do, but they shouldn't, because you can go from good to great. And how do we do that? When I say people pay sometimes for mediocre, sometimes we think we're saving money by eating at a fast food joint that's really just full of grease and no good for you. So really, you might be cutting some money, but what you're paying for it in your health ain't worth it. Why would Chick-fil-A be one of the number one franchises when only open 6 days a week? And their menu costs a little more than others. Why will people continue to vote with their feet by going to Chick-fil-A? Well, because it's the service. It's the humble spirit. It's the way when you come in, you get greeted. It's the way they look you in the eye, the way they say, my pleasure. Like they really want to serve you. You're not an inconvenience. They want to help. That's what Nathan, that's what Connor, and that is what Dwayne, all three have in common. They want to help people. That's really their goal. Like they show up every day thinking, man, who can I help? Who can I serve? I always remember Dave Ramsey said that when he first heard that to be a servant leader, which is one of our core values here at Elevate, he's like, I ain't serving nothing. No, I'm not a server. Like he thought that as a man, he looked at that and thought that makes you weak. But later on, he began to realize, again, through great leaders like John Maxwell and being discipled and reading the Bible, God says that if you want to be the greatest, you must be the chief servant. Like if you want to help the most people buy the most amount of properties or sell the most amount of properties today, then hey man, you got to serve the most amount of people. And people don't want to be around you if you're prideful. Have you ever tried to help somebody get better at their skill when they probably, or they at least think they know better than you do? That's just hard. When you're trying to help somebody that already knows it all, their cup's already full, it's like, yeah, maybe they're good, but they ain't going to great with that kind of attitude. But when you can be humble, that's when you can sharpen your skill. That's when you can go to the top. You know, I've heard stories of like Sam Walton once. They had flown him in to Mexico because they were thinking about starting some similar stores in that area. And they flew Sam in, and they were just going to ask him a bunch of questions. And the people said after they had got done visiting with him, they realized he was the one asking all the questions. He was sitting there picking their brain because he knew that they were innovative and they had new ways of doing things that maybe he hadn't thought about. So he kind of flipped the interview. He was humble. See, when we're doing all the talking, it's hard to learn. God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth. There's a reason for that. We should listen twice as much as we speak. And I'll take my own advice on that. So, when you're looking for an ideal team player, like with my daughter, Emmy, when she's going to get married one day, have a beautiful family, I hope. My son, Noah, gets married one day, has an amazing family. One of the traits I'm going to say look for in your spouse is humbleness. And humbleness doesn't mean gullible. Humbleness doesn't mean naive or easy to take advantage of. No. Humbleness just means you're going to be able to live with this person a whole lot easier because they're not always going to have to tell you they're right and you're wrong. They're not going to be the type of person that just kind of puts it in your face when you're messing up. No, they're going to want to help you. You know, see, I think one of the best verses we have in the Word, and there's so many good ones, but he talks about before we try to get the beam out of somebody else's eye, let's get it out of ours. Why? Because it's hard to see how you can help people when you got something gaping in your eye. So before we can help others, we need to try to, so I think humble people kind of walk with a little bit of a limp because they know they're not perfect. They've not got it all together. And you know what? They don't have to. One of the best books we read probably last quarter was by Carol Dweck called Mindset. And one of the things that she said that I thought was so incredible, she said so many people that are actually very intelligent won't excel far in life because they think that maybe they got praised too much growing up, maybe they got told they were greater than, and so if they can't do it easy the first time, it makes them feel stupid. Like there must be something wrong with me because I didn't just naturally pick up a sales skill. I didn't naturally just hit the tennis ball back. There must be something wrong with me. No, the way we get better is we got to know that we're going to fail our way forward. We're going to learn by trial and error. In fact, the ones that I see get furthest ahead generally fail the quickest and analyze it, get back up and keep moving. So folks, I just want to encourage you today. I really want to encourage you today. You know, be a Nathan, be a Dwayne, be a Connor, be humble and learn about your skill, whatever it might be. Learn about your spouse, however you can. Learn about your community as much as you can. And always be the person that's looking out for the best interest of others. How can I serve you? It is our pleasure to serve. Those are the mindsets of champions. And it's not, look how good I am, look how great I am, everybody ought to worship me. That's not, that's definitely not what we're looking for here at Elevate. We want humble, hungry, smart people. We want people that want to serve. You know, I'll always remember John Maxwell. He said, if I had my preference, I would rather have 100 leaders than 10,000 followers. Because 100 leaders can change the world. God took 12. And Jesus took 12 and totally changed the world, reshaped it forever. So folks, I hope this adds some value to you. If it does, please like and share. We appreciate you. Thank you.